and through Cheer of the Bloody Point. So I recently hit my 4-month mark of playing the Parallel TCG. It's actually my first TCG, and I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm able to speak from some experience on the game, and especially Augencore. And I recently challenged myself to come up with a Jahn Deck that was capable of winning. And what you see here now on the screen is a version of that. I've tested it against live players, and it actually works. So this deck, I won't make you watch the whole video to see how I'm doing this, but basically it's taking advantage of the Ambush Clause Aftermath card, and its mechanic where you can buff it in the bank by doing cycles of charging or revealing and then concealing. There are multiple ways of doing that, John's Provisioner being one of them. But the basic idea is that you, throughout the match, you just continually reveal and conceal a card. It gets buffed. And then when you play John, like I'm doing here, it will reveal a certain number of cards. And for every one it reveals before it gets to the upgrade, it will play a copy of that card, because the card has been buffed and it's doing a plus of a decent number of damage, 4, 5, 6, etc. And if you are lucky enough to get a good number of copies, you will get lethal on that one turn out of nowhere and be able to win the match. Now, obviously this doesn't work every time. There are a lot of variables. You can get unlucky and it could reveal the upgrade on the first card. But when it works, it does actually work. So it's a start of a working Jahn Deck. Again, not an expert, not saying it's perfect.
Smarter warriors than you have tried and failed. We are not infallible.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder, John. Appreciate it. So yeah, it's not going to be made by any means, but it's a functional Jahn Deck. Now, this is something that was enabled through Aftermath. You know, Aftermath has been said to be pretty underwhelming for Augencore. I actually think that's not entirely true. It did some very good specific things that targeted some of Augencore's weaknesses, but I'll discuss that in another video. In this case, the Ambush card is a new card that you can, once banked, buff by doing reveal and conceal cycles, charging and then concealing and charging again. And each time you do that, it increases its damage by 1. Now, this is really interesting because there are many different ways to do that. So if you build the deck around this mechanic, you will have a very high chance of being able to do those cycles. And then it purely becomes a question of deciding when you want to pull the trigger, once you have the energy needed to muster John. Now, of course, you can't only build the deck to do this. It has to function as a regular deck. So you need to keep that in mind. I'm also using the supply cache mechanic to get some extra energy. You know, if you can pull the trigger on John early, as long as you feel you have enough damage and enough cards in the bank to be revealed, then you can certainly do that. And you don't need to wait until, you know, you have a very high number. So it's a combination of the number of copies of the card you're going to play, plus the damage per card, and also what card you're applying that to. If you're applying it to a security officer, for example, you're going to get extra damage for every card. If you're applying it to a card with an upgrade that can hit twice, or any number of those types of things, you know, you really have some options there. But the purpose of the deck is just to survive until that turn, which is why you saw all those defenders. And you know, you are not able to bank any other upgrades other than the ambush, because you don't want to pop one of those when you're doing the revealing from the muster. So I don't put very many upgrades in the deck. I put a few, lots of copies of Ambush Clause to get that going as soon as possible, and then some Voxtec Jammers to help with the conceals, and then an SMR to compensate for the lack of upgrades, and then overclock units, which helps compensate as well. So here's my first live match using this deck after some testing against AI. This is against a real player in ranked. I believe it's ranked. It might be unranked. I don't recall. In any case, I have done other matches since then. Gotten other wins, which you saw in the beginning clip from a different match. But this one was my first, so it's a bit clumsy. It's not perfect, but it does show the whole process of the cycling through the charging or revealing of the banked card, and then the concealing, and the different methods of doing that. So yeah, a functional Jahn deck, as promised. I'll keep playing with this and make some more changes to it. I need to play. I've only played about half a dozen matches. I need to play more players. I'm really excited to run this in the open tournament, where I can, play it against some high-ranked players, and it'd be hilarious to win with this meme deck against some of those guys. Make some good content and be funny. But we'll keep our fingers crossed for that. For now, it is something to play with, and the general mechanic and concept can be taken advantage of in other ways, of course. But Jahn's very specific, otherwise mostly useless muster now actually has a use, which is why I think that the devs stealthily kind of helped Augencore out in a lot of different ways with the Aftermath upgrade. Alright, I'm going to let this go through. I'll put the deck list in the description, but obviously it's not the optimal form or final form of this idea. Hopefully some of you guys can copy it and show me what you've got. Alright guys, take it easy. Thanks as always for watching. Oh yes, don't forget, I will be giving away 7 NFT cards once I hit 500 subscribers, which shouldn't be too long. 1 for each parallel. Augencore's getting 2 because they're my guys, and another universal. Everybody who is interested will go into a pool of subscribers for that parallel, and the draw will be from each of those, so there will be a total of 6 winners. Alright, thanks as always guys, take it easy.
Well fought.
Ah, interesting.
Supplies locked and loaded.
Platform calibration complete.
Utilizing supply.
Well fought.
Let's roll.
Supplies inbound. Operational. Supplies locked and loaded.
don't.
Give him hell!
Let's roll.
Give him hell! Abandon the vehicle! Forces! Fortress decoupling.
Want some?
T-24 on station.
Well fought. Perhaps next time we may work together.